There are things we bring into our homes without thinking twice, things we think are harmless. A decoration, a gift, an object that looks beautiful on the surface. But sometimes, it's not the object itself that carries evil. It's the energy attached to it. Every home has a soul. It remembers, it absorbs, it reflects the energy we create inside it, our words, our actions, and yes, even the things we choose to keep around us. Some items carry memories of pain, greed, jealousy, or darkness. Maybe it was given by someone with ill intentions. Maybe it's something that represents vanity, arrogance, or false pride. And without realizing it, that object becomes a magnet, pulling in more negativity, more heaviness, more unrest. You start to feel it. The silence in your house doesn't feel peaceful anymore. Small arguments grow into storms. Your sleep becomes restless. Your mind feels crowded. That's not coincidence. That's energy. Your home should be a place of healing, not heaviness. It should be a space where your mind can rest, your heart can breathe, and your soul can feel safe. But if you fill it with objects that represent everything you're trying to heal from, envy, fear, ego, you keep reopening the same wounds. So here's the truth. The item you should never keep in your home is anything that carries negative energy, anything that reminds you of pain, hate, or pride. Maybe it's a picture that triggers comparison. Maybe it's a gift from someone who hurt you deeply. Maybe it's a symbol of something you once worshipped, fame, money, status. Maybe it's something that represents darkness, destruction, or false beauty. Every time you look at it, your energy shifts. Every time it catches your eye, your peace fades a little. And over time, that invisible weight becomes a part of your daily life. You don't need to wait for something evil to happen to remove it. The evil has already begun the moment it starts disturbing your peace. Walk around your home today. Look at every item and ask yourself, does this bring me calmness or chaos? Does this remind me of gratitude or grief? Does this represent growth or the person I used to be when I was broken? If it drains you, release it. If it carries the energy of someone who betrayed you, let it go. If it makes you feel less, weaker, smaller, it doesn't belong near you. Because when you remove what doesn't serve you, you make room for what will. You make room for light, for healing, for blessings that flow freely. Your home is a reflection of your inner world. When your surroundings are heavy, your spirit becomes heavy too. But when you fill your space with intention, clean light, calm colors, meaningful things, you'll feel your energy change. Keep things that hold love, not ego. Keep memories that strengthen your heart, not poison it. Keep items that reflect who you're becoming, not who you were when you were broken. The most dangerous thing in any home isn't a cursed object or symbol. It's the negativity we allow to live there, disguised as decoration, nostalgia, or pride. So don't just decorate your home, purify it. Let every corner remind you of peace. Let every item whisper gratitude. Let every breath you take inside those walls feel like a prayer of calmness. Because when your space is light, your soul becomes lighter too. And when your soul is light, no darkness can ever stay for long. Never keep negativity in your home, not in objects, not in words, not in thoughts. Because your home deserves peace, and so do you.
Everything in this world carries energy. Every word, every gesture, every object that sits quietly in the corner of your home. You may not always see it, but you can feel it. It's in the air when you walk into a room that once held an argument. It's in the warmth of a smile, in the heaviness of silence, in the peace that comes when everything around you feels right. Energy doesn't need words to communicate. It simply exists, flowing, absorbing, remembering. That's why some places feel calming the moment you step in, while others make your chest feel tight for reasons you can't explain. It's not the furniture, not the walls, it's the energy that is gathered there. Every thought, every emotion you release adds something to your surroundings. When you laugh, your walls remember that joy. When you cry, your pillow holds that memory of pain. When you pray, the space around you becomes softer, lighter, and sacred. Your home, your belongings, even your favorite cup, they all carry traces of you. And over time, they become mirrors of the energy you've lived through. That's why sometimes when life feels heavy, you clean, rearrange, or declutter, not because things are messy, but because your soul is trying to breathe again. You see, energy never disappears, it just changes form. And when you start to understand that, you realize how much power you have, because you are constantly shaping the energy around you. Your words can lift or wound. Your thoughts can calm or disturb. Your actions can create warmth or coldness. When you enter a space, you leave a part of yourself there, a vibration that lingers. That's why it's so important to move through life with intention, because the energy you carry becomes the energy you spread. There are people who light up a room the moment they walk in, not because of how they look, but because their energy feels safe, kind, grounded. And there are others whose presence feels like a storm, loud, unsettling, heavy. The difference isn't in what they say, it's in what they carry. Every morning you have a choice. What kind of energy will I add to the world today? Will I pour calmness or chaos? Will I speak life or drain it? Because whether you believe it or not, every moment you're giving something to the space around you. Think about the objects in your home. That photo that makes you smile every time you see it. That's good energy. That piece of clothing that reminds you of a heartbreak. That's stagnant energy. That gift from someone who no longer wishes you well. That's heavy energy. Over time, these things begin to shape how you feel without you realizing it. This is why cleaning isn't just a physical act, it's an emotional one. When you dust, sweep, or rearrange, you're not just tidying your home, you're clearing your energy. You're saying, I want to make room for peace again. And slowly, the air begins to shift. Energy lives in your words, too. When you speak kindly to someone, your words become little sparks of light that stay with them. When you gossip, complain, or curse, that darkness doesn't just leave your mouth, it stays in your environment. That's why some homes feel filled with tension, even when everyone is smiling. Because the energy of the words spoken there still lingers, unhealed, uncleaned. So start being intentional with the energy you bring. When you cook, cook with love, not frustration. When you speak, speak with kindness, not haste. When you sit alone, fill your silence with gratitude, not overthinking. Because energy listens, it absorbs, it returns what you give. Every plant in your home grows better when it's surrounded by peace. Every corner of your room feels different when it's touched by calmness. You don't need expensive things to create a beautiful home, just beautiful energy. If your surroundings feel heavy, don't rush to change your furniture, change your energy. Open your windows, let light in, play gentle sounds, burn something that smells of warmth, not for ritual, but for renewal. Speak softly to your space. Thank it for holding you. Because your environment is alive with energy, and it responds to how you treat it. Energy lives in everything, and the more you respect that truth, the more peaceful your life becomes. You begin to notice how your thoughts change the way rooms feel, how your emotions shift the atmosphere. You start realizing that you're not a victim of energy, you are its creator, its keeper, its transformer. When you choose peace inside, the world around you starts to soften too, because the energy within you has the power to shape the energy that surrounds you.
Pain isn't always something you can see, but you can feel it in everything. It lives in your body, in your surroundings, in the small habits you don't even notice anymore. It's in the way your shoulders tighten when a certain name is mentioned. It's in the corner of your room where you keep something that reminds you of a chapter you never healed from. Pain hides in the ordinary, in the clothes you can't throw away, in the messages you can't delete, in the memories you keep revisiting even when they hurt. Every emotion you experience leaves an imprint. When you ignore it, it doesn't disappear. It simply finds somewhere else to live. Your body remembers what your mind tries to forget. That's why sometimes you feel tired for no reason, why certain songs make your heart ache, why you feel heavy even on peaceful days. Because pain has a physical form, it stores itself in the tension of your body, in the spaces you occupy, in the silence you keep. Look around you. Every item, every corner of your home holds a piece of your story. Some pieces carry love, laughter, and light, but some carry heartbreak, guilt, or loss. You keep them because you tell yourself they don't matter, but your soul knows better. It feels everything you refuse to release. That's why certain rooms make you uneasy, why the air feels thicker in spaces where you've cried too long. Pain settles there, quietly, patiently, waiting for you to acknowledge it. Sometimes letting go of pain isn't about talking endlessly about what happened. It's about changing what surrounds you. It's about moving that object that stirs your sadness. It's about washing your bedsheet that still carries the scent of old tears. It's about saying goodbye, not just emotionally, but physically. Pain lives in the body, too. Your back holds the weight of all the times you had to stay strong. Your jaw holds the words you never said. Your chest carries the goodbyes that came too early. And your hands, they remember the things they held on to for too long. Healing isn't just emotional work, it's physical release. It's the deep breath you take after crying. It's unclenching your fists. It's moving your body, stretching your heart open again. Because when you move, you remind your body that you're not stuck anymore, that the story can finally shift. So often, people try to heal by thinking their way through pain. But sometimes you can't think your way out of something you felt so deeply. You have to feel your way through it. You have to touch it, see it, release it. Open that drawer that holds reminders of a person you no longer are. Pick up those old letters, read them one last time, and then let them go. Not in anger, but in peace. Because holding on doesn't honor the past, it traps you in it. Pain also lives in your words. When you talk about your hurt again and again, when you feed it attention, it grows roots. You don't have to erase your story, just change the way you tell it. Tell it from strength, not sorrow. Tell it like a bridge you crossed, not a cage you live in. And most importantly, pain lives in the energy you allow it to stay. Sometimes it's the people who remind you of your wounds. Sometimes it's the habits that reopen them, revisiting old messages, scrolling through memories, chasing closure from those who never gave peace. But closure doesn't come from them. It comes from choosing yourself, again and again, even when it hurts. Every time you release something that no longer serves you, an object, a memory, a thought, you take your power back. You tell your soul, I am ready to move forward. You see, pain will always find a home until you decide to evict it. It will live in your clothes, your spaces, your routines, quietly shaping how you see the world. But the moment you start clearing that space, physically and emotionally, something shifts. You begin to feel lighter. Your body breathes easier. Your heart opens again. Healing isn't about forgetting the pain. It's about transforming its form, taking what once hurt you and turning it into something sacred. Wisdom, empathy, strength. Every scar, every ache, every tear becomes a reminder that you've survived more than you ever thought you could. So look around your world and listen. Where does your pain still live? In your closet? In your memories? In your silence? Go there. Face it. Touch it gently. And then, one by one, let those pieces go. Because pain has a physical form, but so does peace. And the more room you make by releasing what's heavy, the more space peace has to stay.
Peace doesn't just arrive when life becomes quiet. It appears when you make room for it. It's not something that visits crowded hearts or cluttered minds. Peace needs space. It needs room to breathe, to move, to flow freely through your life. Most people say they want peace, but they don't realize peace can't exist where there's no space for it. If your mind is filled with worry, if your heart is carrying old pain, if your home is full of things that remind you of chaos, peace will knock but find no place to stay. You can't hold on to everything and expect calmness to bloom in the middle of it. Peace is soft. It doesn't push its way in. It waits, patiently, for you to release the noise, the weight, the constant need to control everything. Creating space doesn't always mean cleaning a room. It means uncluttering your energy. It means letting go of thoughts that drain you, relationships that confuse you, habits that exhaust you. It means learning to say no without guilt and yes without fear. When you remove what doesn't serve your soul, you make space for what truly does. But we struggle with that, don't we? We keep people who hurt us because we're scared of being alone. We hold on to memories that break us because they're familiar. We fill our time with distractions because silence feels uncomfortable. Yet peace is born in silence. It's in the quiet moments, when you're not rushing, not scrolling, not pretending, that peace whispers, I've been here all along. But to hear that voice, you have to stop drowning it in noise. You have to clear emotional clutter the same way you clear a messy room, one piece at a time. Start small. Look at your space. Ask yourself what truly belongs here. Every object, every sound, every scent either feeds your peace or drains it. Keep what makes you exhale. Remove what makes you tense. Your home should feel like a sanctuary, not a storage room for the past. Then look at your thoughts. How many of them are borrowed? Opinions, fears, comparisons that don't even belong to you. We carry so much that isn't ours. People's expectations, society's pressures, old mistakes we keep punishing ourselves for. No wonder our minds feel so crowded. Peace requires space, and space requires release. Release the story that you must have everything figured out. Release the belief that you need everyone's approval.
Release the constant replay of what if and why me. You don't have to carry everything. Some things are meant to be left where they fell. Peace also needs boundaries. It needs you to protect your energy from people who thrive on chaos. You can love someone and still love yourself enough to step away. You can forgive and still choose distance. Boundaries aren't walls, they're gates, and peace stands at the door, asking you to guard it wisely. When you begin to create emotional and spiritual space, something beautiful happens. You start breathing differently. You wake up without the same heaviness. You notice small joys again, the way sunlight filters through the window, the sound of rain, the quiet between your breaths. That's peace, making itself at home in your life. But it needs space to stay. If you fill your days with noise, if you keep saying yes to everything, if you never pause to listen, peace slips away quietly. So simplify. Not just your home, but your routines, your commitments, your inner world. Peace isn't found in having more, it's found in needing less. Less chaos, less control, less chasing. Let yourself rest in stillness. It's not laziness, it's alignment. It's your soul resetting itself, reminding you that you were never meant to live in constant motion. Even the ocean rests between waves. Even the heart pauses between beats. When you create space, you teach the universe that you are ready to receive something new. You make room for clarity, for blessings, for light. You begin to see that peace was never missing. It was just buried beneath everything you refused to release. Peace is simple, but we complicate it. We search for it in books, people, places, when all it truly asks is, will you make space for me? So clear the noise. Release what feels heavy. Stop holding on to things that no longer feel like home. Let your environment reflect the peace you seek inside. Because peace doesn't live in chaos. It grows in the empty, quiet spaces where your heart can finally breathe.